Good morning to everyone. Welcome to Danny David's Leadership Platform, or welcome to Danny David's Leadership Community. Here we talk about leadership, everything you want to know about leadership, right? From from low level to high level performance of leadership, right? So, welcome, good morning to you guys once again. If this is your first time streaming me live on Facebook and on YouTube, or to my returning subscribers on YouTube, please do me a favor by sharing the link of this section with a friend, with somebody you love, and would also pick interest in learning certain things from the session this morning. Thank you so much for being a part of the community. I do not take your time for granted, and I hope we do better together. All right. So I don't take your time for granted at all. All right. Yesterday I was live and I gave a lot of tips um, about certain aspects of leadership. And this morning again, I want to talk about something real quick, which I believe would be of help to every single person under the sound of my voice this morning. But before I go ahead with the session, I'll just give us like 1 minute to do a bit of sharing. All right, share the link with your friends, talk to them about what is happening this morning so they also can be a part of the teaching. All right. So just talk to your friend. I'm just going to give us like 2 minutes to do that. All right. Just 2 minutes to do that. Share the link. Talk to somebody. Something interesting is happening here this morning. They should come and learn. I know your time is important, which is one of the reasons why I had to come early this morning. Or I also came early yesterday. I also came yesterday as well, right, to do same thing. All right. So I believe early morning of the day is very important. We get in fresh knowledge, we assimilate new things, new information that would kick us start for the day. All right. So just 2 minutes, talk to your friend, and I will be right back. Thank you. We are back. We are back. Thank you so much for spending the little minutes of your time to share the link and probably talking to your friend about this morning section. Thank you so much for that. So this morning we are looking at a very important aspect of leadership. My sessions basically is mostly based on leadership. I talk mostly on leadership, how young people can be more of themselves, how young people can, easily discover what they are truly called for and what they are truly born for. Right? A lot of people are confused, and part of what leads to the confusion most of the time is because are they are yet to discover, right? They are yet to discover their stake in the world. They are yet to understand who they are, and they are yet to fully understand the kind of power they possess as a person, right? So, I mean, many other things can lead to how confused the person can be or how confused the person can get in life. But I can tell you that one of the major causes of people's confusion is because they are struggling, they are battling with self-identity. They are battling with self-identity, which is one of the reasons why I do what I do. Just want to be of help to people who are struggling with self-identity crisis. Just want to be of help to people who are yet to understand their stake in the world, who are yet to be more of themselves. Right? You know, there are some people that if hear from somebody, they won't do anything. If they never hear advice from probably their dad, their mom, if they never heard a word from any of probably their friends, they will never get up to do anything, right? And you need to understand that in life, it is about taking initiative, and that is where leadership starts from. Leadership is you taking initiative, right? The moment you understand and you know what to do, it will be easy for you to flow as an individual. So one of the things I do basically is to help people untie old beliefs and perceptions, right? For many people, it is wrong ideology holding them back. For some people, it is a flip of thoughts, right? A flip of negative thoughts, what they fed from people, what they listen to online, what they hear people talk about them, that kind of changes their person. And you cannot want to be a person of impact and be driven by what people say all the time. You cannot want to be a person of impact and be driven by what the society is saying about the current situation, or you being moved by what the society is trying to paint on you. So you cannot be a person of impact, a person of change, and you are scared about making certain choices, taking bold steps in life. All right. You can't be scared about taking bold steps, being the person you've always wanted to be, and all. So, one of the things that leads to confusion basically is the fact that some people are yet to discover certain things about themselves. They don't know, they don't understand the kind of potentials they carry. And I believe once you understand your potential as a person, you will perform better. Yeah. It's about understanding your stake in the world, understand your potential, knowing where to perform, knowing when to perform, and knowing how to perform that counts you apart or count you separate from others. So it is not just about doing anything just because you want to please people. It is about you knowing the exact it's about you knowing the exact thing to do, knowing the exact thing to do. It is not until somebody call you to tell you to do something before you know you have to get up to do something, right? It is not that is not leadership. So if you want to take initiative on anything, right? You want to create a goal, you want to create a plan, make sure it is something you are willing to do. Make sure it is something that resonates with your spirit. Make sure it is something that resonates with your person. Make sure it is something that resonates with your calling. Make sure it is something that resonates with who you are becoming, right? And which is one of the best way you can grow as an individual, which is one of the best way you can easily grow, you can easily evolve as an individual. All right. So run away from what the society is trying to paint on you, run away from the narrative people are painting on you, because the more you focus your mind on these things, the more it terminates your efforts of becoming a better person, the more it endangers your focus in life as as a person. All right. So this morning we are looking at a very important subject in leadership, which is building a legacy that transcends wealth. Building a legacy that transcends wealth, and which means creating a lasting impact through purpose-driven leadership, empowering generations, and cultivating values that endure beyond material success, right? Creating a lasting impact through purpose driven leadership, empowering generations, and cultivating values that endure beyond material success, right? Um, don't set up a thing, don't set up a thing because this is going to offend a lot of people, okay? But I'm going to balance it, all right? I'm going to balance it. Don't set up a thing majorly because you want to make money out of it. All right? Don't set up a thing majorly because you want to make money out of it. Set up a thing because you want to solve problems. You want to create solution. All right? And if you look at the world today, the billionaires, the millionaires, those who are doing well today, right? They created a product with the mindset of they wanting to be of help to people. They created a product with a mindset of they wanting to employ people, right? So when you create a product or when you build a business, the idea behind you building the business is so you can employ those who are seeking for job employment, right, so to speak. So you can also lessen the issue of lack of job opportunities around, right? So you need to understand that when you are trying to build a thing, you are not building or creating that stuff majorly because you want to make money out of it, right? Whatever you are creating or whatever you are putting out there, your craft, your talent, whatever it is you are putting out there, you are doing it majorly because you want to be of help to people, all right? Majorly because you want to be of help to people. And as I was saying the other time, if you look at the lives of the billionaires we have now, and look at the product they have created, the reason why they created the product, like I said, is to be of help to people. So look at people like Elon Musk. Elon Musk, he created the SpaceX, he created Tesla, and a lot of things like that. The reason why he created those stuff is to be of help to people. He created Tesla so people can easily afford a vehicle of their choice and to consume lesser products, right? And if you look at the product Jeff Bezos created as well, I believe you know Jeff Bezos. The reason for the product is also to be of help to people, to employ people, and to make certain things easier for people. There is a particular man, a Chinese billionaire called Jack Ma. Jack Ma also created a product, right, to be of help to people. So if you look at the lives of the billionaires I'm mentioning, or the millionaires, or trillionaires, right, the reason why they are where they are today is because they created a problem to be of help to people. They created a product, not a problem. They created a product to be of help to people. They created a lasting solution that would feed humanity for a long time, right? So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because if you want to operate in that level of leadership, you have to come with the mindset of, yeah, I am here to be of help to the people. I am here to be of help. I'm here to support as many as possible, right? So don't you as a leader or as a young leader create anything out, don't you as a leader create something with the mindset of you trying to make money from it. Like I said, I'm going to balance it, right? So that's why I said this is going to offend a lot of people. Money is important, right? Okay, just like the topic we are talking about this morning, building a legacy that transcends wealth. Building a legacy that transcends wealth. Now, when we are talking about building a legacy that transcends wealth, that means you are looking beyond the money you want to make. You are looking beyond the wealth you want to create. That is, you are doing something that outlasts the test of time. That's what the word transcends means. You are doing something that outlasts the test of time. All right. So whatever it is you are doing as a young person, whatever it is you are doing as probably you're a professional, you maybe whatever it is you want to do, make sure that that thing you are doing is solving people's problem. All right. Some people are not mentally okay. Then what service can you provide to be of help to them? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. Some people are going through financial issues, financial problems, don't even know how to manage their finances. What solutions do you have in mind to be of help to this set of people? You see, um, you just need to consider the fact that the reason why people also want to buy a product is because your product is of help to them. Even the product you are selling must be of help to people, right? People don't put their money where there is no value. That's the point. People do not put their money where there is no value. So if you want people to value your product must beat their standards. If you want people to value your product must beat their standards. All right. So whenever you are trying to create anything as a young leader, or probably you are not in the space of leadership, it depends on whatever it is you are doing. Make sure you are not doing that thing with the mindset of I want to make money from this. Even if you are building it with the mindset of you want to make money from it, make sure that that product you are pushing out there is serving people, is solving people's problem, is helping people analyze their problem and giving them solutions ahead of time. All right. So building a legacy that transcends wealth. You know, um, after a person's demise, once the person is gone out of this world, what would people say about you? That is actually what transcends means, right? Transcends wealth. Despite the money you're making, despite the wealth you're trying to create, are you making sure are you building a legacy that transcends the meaning of time? Are you building a legacy that transcends the code of wealth? And that's actually what really stands. All right. That's what lasts. That's what lasts. If you look at the lives of okay, let me not mention billionaires. If you look at the life of an apostle called Babalola, right? I know you all are familiar with the name Apostle Ayo Babalola. And for those who are not Nigerians, this is actually a revivalist in the 80s who made a major global impact in the lives of in Christianity in Nigeria, right? Apostle Ayo Babalola today, people are still talking about him. Why are they still talking about him? They're still talking about him because he made contribution, right? He created a legacy that transcends the wealth of the wealth of time. He created a legacy that that transcends the code of wealth, right? So people don't just talk about his name, but they talk about the impact he has built, the impact, the legacy he left before he died. So when people are talking about you, what are they saying basically? Right? So that's why I said, I remember one time I wanted to work on a particular project. And the first question I asked myself was, Dave, are you trying to create this particular project? Are you trying to do this particular thing because you want money out of it? And you see, a lot of people are not conscious of these things. They just do it well, I need money, I need money. Mm-mm. We are not saying you shouldn't make money. I'm only trying to say, make sure that whatever you are creating as a person transcends the code of wealth. All right. Now, when people are making use of your product, when people are buying your product, they are seeing the help they need from the product. They are seeing the solution in the product. So when people are seeing your product, maybe they are viewing your product, let them see solution. Now, let me give you another instance, right? Have you seen any of these banks, any of these Nigerian banks, whenever they are advertising about, maybe they're advertising their banks, Access Bank, Zenith Bank, right? First Bank, there's a way they kind of portray their legacy to people. That if you are seeing First Bank, what comes to your mind? Okay, let me use MTN for instance. If you're seeing MTN, they say everywhere you go, right? That is anywhere you go, you will see MTN. Now, what I'm trying to say is these guys, they have actually created a legacy that outlasts the code of wealth. And that's how you should be thinking as a person. And that's why you realize that a lot of people are just struggling. They are struggling, 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 but there is nothing to write home about. Your mind cannot just be fixed on making money. Rather, let your mind be fixed on solving people's problems. That is how you become the person you want to be. Let your mind be fixated on, I want to solve people's problem. I want to be of help to humanity. I want to be of help to humanity. That should be what your mind brings on a daily basis. Beyond the fact that I just want to create money, I just want to make money, I just want to create wealth. All right. So I'm going to be talking about 5 ways to build a legacy that transcends wealth. 5 ways to build a legacy that transcends wealth. 5 ways to build a legacy that transcends wealth. The first one is prioritize purpose over profits. Prioritize purpose over profits, right? And when it comes to, like I was saying the other time, when it comes to you building anything with a mindset of you wanting to solve people's problems, right? It's actually with the idea of you seeing the need to be of help rather than the need to feed from them, right? You are building a product with the need to be of help, with the mind to be of help, rather than with the need to feed from people. So right now, you have to see the other way around. It is now people feeding from you. And they feeding from you is not just by you giving them money. Buying your product alone is enough reason to say, these guys are feeding from me. Imagine you are a writer, you write a book, you publish the book, and you put the book on sale. People are getting the book. Actually, they are feeding from your knowledge, they are drawing from your well of wisdom. So whatever it is you have in mind that you want to create, don't create it with the mindset of you wanting to make money off people. Create it with the mindset of you wanting to provide solutions to their problems. It's why you see a lot of banks these days. They want to provide solutions to the financial sector of the country. It's why you see a lot of people coming up with different kind of apps. They want to be of help to people, right? It's why you will see some people saying, "Oh, if you make use of an app, it makes your transaction easy," right? That's because they want to be of help. No matter the service you are creating, make sure there is a solution at the back end because people buy your product because of the solution it provides to them. People put money in value. People put money in value. So you have to prioritize purpose over profits. Prioritize your purpose over profits. All right. Leaders who align their vision with a higher purpose leave an enduring imprint. Leaders who align their vision with a higher purpose leave an enduring imprint. Rather than focusing solely on financial outcomes, they champion initiatives that address social, environmental, or humanitarian needs, whether through ethical practices, community development, or championing innovation that serves the greater good. They build an organization that thrives on impact rather than mere monetary success. They build an impact that thrives on impact rather than mere monetary success. All right. So everything is not about you wanting to make money. All right. So I just feel the need that this particular stuff talking about this morning is very, very important. Is something very important we need to pay attention to. It's very important we need to pay might take a while for people to see it, for people to know that this is what you are into and all. But in as much as what you are doing is worth it, what you are doing, you know that even in the next 20 years, people will still be talking about what you are doing now. I think that's enough reason for you to say, yeah, you are making impact. There's enough reason for you to say you are making impact. You are transforming lives, you are transforming minds, and you are creating solutions to people's problems. All right. The number 2 point, all right, says champion lifelong learning. Champion lifelong learning. Great leaders recognize that learning is a lifetime journey. Learning is a lifetime journey. This reminds me of leaders I know. These guys are amazing, to be very honest. All the leaders I know actually are great leaders. They are great learners, right? Because great learners are great leaders. Great learners are great leaders. And great learners leads better. That's to my own personal understanding. And I just feel like the reason why a lot of people are not growing or are not really doing well is because they abandon the should I use the word abandon? Some are just ignorant to the point that they feel they know everything and they don't want to learn anymore. Right? They don't want to learn anymore. They just feel they know everything. Some even know more than their leaders. That's what I will tell you. I know more than what I know what that man is saying. There's nothing you want to tell me. There's nothing you want to talk to me about. Champion long lifelong learning, not long life, sorry. Champion lifelong learning. So keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. You know, because a point in time will come that 12 you are learning now, what you learned 5 years ago might actually be what is working for you. And I'm going to use myself as an example. I think I was around 19 or in my teenage years then, in late teenage years actually. I read a book by Dr. Miles Monroe titled Fatherhood Principle, right? Titled Fatherhood Principle. And that book was majorly written for men and for those who are fathers who are looking forward to be a father, who want to build a family. And I read the book when I was 19 years and I gained a whole lot from that book actually, to the point where whenever I'm talking about whenever I'm talking to people about relationships, just having conversations with them at the time, they just kind of think, how old are you guy? I mean, where did you get this kind of knowledge? Right? I got to realize that I didn't just read a book for once. And that changed my perspective about being a father, being a responsible person, right? So that book really changed my perspective about being a responsible person. And up to today, I didn't regret reading that book. This, I'm talking about several years ago, all right? Several years ago. So what I'm trying to say is the book you read 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago might there are certain knowledge you've learned from those books that are actually the knowledge. It's actually those knowledge you learned in the previous years that is championing your steps at the moment, right? Those knowledge you've accumulated from those books are actually what is helping you. I also read a book by Robert Kiyosaki, Think and Grow Rich, right? No, Think and Grow Rich wasn't written by Robert Kiyosaki. I think um, the book written by Robert Kiyosaki and I read is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? I read the book and I got to understand how a poor man thinks and how a rich man thinks, right? Their thoughts is never aligned. I mean, they never think the same way. That was how I got to realize that poverty can actually make people think otherwise. Um, and because of poverty, a lot of people just attribute everything to spiritual problems, which is not supposed to be so. All right. So great leaders recognize that learning is a lifelong journey. So learning is a lifelong journey. You don't stop learning. You keep learning on a daily basis. They foster a culture where curiosity, innovation, and skill development are celebrated. Right. For me, as an example, I am a curious person. I'm curious to the point where if I see a new word today, I just want to make research on the word, right? If this is my first time hearing a particular thing, a history or so about somebody who is probably was popular at the time, and I just feel like I need to know more about this person, right? So be somebody that is so curious that you want be somebody that is so curious that is willing to learn about every single thing. All right. Be somebody that is so curious that you want to learn about every single thing. Are you innovative in your thinking? Be a person of innovation. Be a person of innovation. The next point talk about is promote sustainability and responsibility. Promote sustainability and responsibility, right? A legacy that endures prioritizes sustainability and social responsibility. Visionary leaders advocate for practices that minimize environmental impact, embrace ethical standards, and actively contribute to the betterment of society. By 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 embedding these values into their operations, they ensure that their influence serves both current and future generations, right? So promote sustainability and responsibility. You want to build a legacy that transcends the code of wealth. You must be a person who promotes sustainability and responsibility. Take initiative, like I said the other time. Take initiative. Hold yourself accountable for certain tasks. Hold yourself accountable for the assignment you've been called to handle. You've been called to overlook. Sorry, you've been called to look after. All right. So a legacy that endures prioritizes sustainability and social. All right. So be responsible. Be responsible. Be responsible. Now, the next point is focus on impactful relationships. Focus on impactful relationships. You see, I was talking about the billionaires the other time. I remember a story, I think this was a particular man sharing a story. He said he entered a room and he realizes that all the people in the room are billionaires. They are millionaires, billionaires of corporate companies. They are doing well in their careers. They employ thousands of people working for them. And he was so surprised that when he entered the room, he saw billionaires and millionaires in the room. And he was asking himself the question, these men are doing well. I mean, they've gotten to a certain point in their life, in their career, where right now they should be relaxing because money flows in for them on a daily basis. Now, he was not asking himself that why are they here? Why are they here? Why are they still here to learn? Then I think he went to interview one of them, and the person he interviewed said, I think there was a question he asked the guy. I've forgotten the question, but it's more like what happens when you are in GSS 1 to GSS 2. You didn't say because you're in GSS 2 then you have to stop learning. You have to promote to the next, right? You have to be promoted to the next level. Now, it happens like that in life. So life is a journey. You don't say because you are here now that you don't want to learn. You don't say because you've been promoted or you've been given a position in the office, they increased your salary, for instance, or they give you a high position, then you don't want to learn anymore, right? So that's not how you build legacy because life is a journey. You have to learn at every interval. So focus on impactful relationships. So what does it mean to focus on impactful relationships? Focusing on impactful relationships simply means you prioritize good relationships, people who add to your life, who are part of your dreams and are willing to help you be the person you want to be. So these are the people you need to have in your midst, in your corner, around you, because times will come where you will be in need of help. And the only people you want to call, or you want to ask for help are those who have your heart, right? So focus on impactful relationships, relationships that adds to you, relationships that builds confidence in you, relationship that sees the best in you. All right. So relationships define a leader's influence, and that's true. Relationship defines a leader's influence. The next point, which is second to the last, is establish endurance systems and processes. Establish enduring systems and processes. Right. A well-structured organization outlasts a well-structured organization outlasts its founder. Leaders who design and institutionalize robust systems and processes create a framework for sustained growth and innovation. So one of the things you need to understand is establish endurance systems and processes. Establish endurance systems and processes. A well-structured organization outlasts its founder. So you own a company, you're trying to build one, make sure there are systems involved, there are processes involved. All right. Make sure there are systems involved, there are processes involved. You know, boils down to how you want the company to be created, where you want the company to be. Make sure you go through the necessary processes. Go through the necessary processes. Make sure there are structures on ground. There are systems on ground guiding the company. All right. That's why you can see companies like McDonald's. You still hear about McDonald's till today. And McDonald's was created many years ago. That's why you could still hear names like Ford, the Ford car, Ford vehicles. And Ford was created many years ago. You could hear names of vehicles like, Camry, Honda. And these are companies that's been existing for a long period of time. So you have to establish enduring systems and processes. You have to establish enduring systems and processes. All right, the last one says contribute to community development. So if you want to build a legacy that transcends the code of wealth, you have to contribute to community development. Right? What are you doing in your community at the moment? The people in your community, what are they learning from you? What are they gaining from you? What insights or wisdom or knowledge are you sharing with them? Are you waiting till you become a perfect person before you get the work done? Are you waiting till you become the best of self before you get started? Well, to be very honest, you don't have to be all perfect before you get started. You know, do with what you know. Start with where you are. Start from where you are. Do with what you know, and start with the people around you. That is how you become a better person. And these things I've said this morning are actually ways, right? There are other many ways, but with the few ones I've shared, I believe you make do with them and see your life turn out for good. Thank you so much for joining me once again this morning. I don't take your time for granted. God bless. I hope to come here again tomorrow. Probably, all right, yeah, probably on Saturday. And I'll just come on live again to share something interesting, with us. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and do have a productive day ahead of you. Bye for now. Thank you.